It is a member of the woodwind family, although it doesn't necessarily look like it, because obviously it's made of silver. Flutes are made of lots of materials. It's one of the oldest instruments in the world. They used to be made of bone years and years and years ago. Then they were made of wood or ivory, and now more often than not they're made of silver, and sometimes they're made of gold and platinum. So, a funny story, a friend of mine, 7 years old, came up to me in school and he said, guess what, he's really excited. He said, I'm going to learn to play the flute. And I was a bit flummoxed by that, and I didn't know what to say, so I just said, me too, and here I am now. He gave up after a couple of weeks, I think. So, it's the highest member of the woodwind family, and it normally sits on top of the orchestra. That is excluding the piccolo, of course, which is a flute in itself. Typically, it's used to represent birds and nice fluttery things like that, because it's a very light instrument. I think what's great about the flute, and what I like about it more than perhaps any other instrument, is it can do anything, because it's really unconstrained, I think. It can do whatever your voice can do, and so one day I might want to play a slow melody in the orchestra, but then the next day I could maybe play some jazz or something with a small group, and then the day after that maybe my friends will phone me and I'll play in a band. But that's what's so good about the flute, it can do anything. In the 20th century, lots of people have started to experiment with the flute, so there are lots of fun things with it. I think it's the instrument that's benefited most of what we call extended techniques. So it can do all sorts of things like flutter tonguing. And there's some rock and roll bands in the 20th century and 21st century who like to sing and play at the same time. So that's a bit of that for you, that's the flute. No, not at all. My mum and dad both work for the civil service, actually. I always remember my mum singing, but I was really lucky. When I was in primary school, there was a family friend who taught us all to play the recorder. And she was really good at that, and that gave me a really good foundation in music, I think. So that's where it all came from. Most people at my age will probably do between 2 and 4 hours a day. I think people that really, really work hard, they'll maybe do 5, 6, 7 hours a day. But when you're a bit younger, you can do anything between half an hour, 20 minutes, 40 minutes a day. Well, I started when I was 7 years old. And I think I did my grade 8, that's the top grade, when I was 13, so that's 6 years, and I'm 24 now, so that's 17 years, is that right? 17 years I've been playing the flute, and you kind of run out of grades at the end. You just keep going and see how good you can get, I suppose. Like the flute, but obviously a lot smaller. You've got the piccolo, which really is at the top of the orchestra. You can't hide on the piccolo because it's really loud and it's really high. You can hear it obviously in Young Person's Guide because it's got a really big solo right at the start of the fugue, which I'll play for you now. I think that depends on my mood. I think if I want to show off, I play the piccolo because everyone can hear me. And I love sitting on the end because everyone thinks it's a bit of a joke, but it's not a joke when it's screaming right in your ear. And I think I find it really satisfying to play the piccolo. But the flute's very beautiful as well, and that's nice. But if I had to pick, maybe I'd go for the piccolo.